Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Freelance Business Month. I'm Ana Garcia Alcala. I'm a PMP certified, and I have worked as a project manager for the past 6 years. I'm delighted to be here today with all of you to share my journey and insights of being a technical project manager as a freelance and what it truly means to lead global teams without borders. So over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through how freelance technical project managers or how freelance project managers in general thrive in complex environments, connect people across cultures, and deliver real impact. My goal is that by the end of this season, you will have a clear understanding of how to position yourselves as as a strategic connector, not just a coordinator, and as a someone who bridges clients, developers, and business goals across time zones and continents. So the first question you may have is why being a freelance project manager and not an in-house? Because for me it's completely different and different. In a freelance world, you often work with multiple clients at the same time across various industries, managing distributed teams that operate under different expectations, systems, and cultures. Um, Also, you rarely have a formal authority because you are not part of the company, but at the same time, you are expected to guide, to align, and to deliver. For me, that's what makes this role so unique, so dynamic, and also so rewarding, actually. A freelance PM is both a strategic and a connector. And of course, the technical knowledge is essential. We will discuss about this later. But what truly sets you apart are your soft skills, the empathy you show, the cultural intelligence you have, the clear communication. In practice, this this means, for example, building trust quickly, um, translating the business goals into actionable plans, create a system where people from different backgrounds, from different countries can work together and share the same vision. Clients don't hire you simply to manage tasks. They hire you to bring the structure and the confidence that they need and to make the complexity feel like something manageable, like something easy. From my perspective, leading global teams without borders as a freelance PM is sometimes is truly a double-edged word. It presents significant challenges like managing different time zones, cultural nuances, or communication styles. But more importantly, it offers it offers incredible opportunities to tap into the best talent and diverse perspectives. And it's what really makes the difference between you and any other freelance PM or any in-house PM. As a freelance technical PM, usually I see my role as a primary guide in a complex system. Usually we have to navigate um, and this process using different approach depending on what the client needs. For example, to have a clear communication, to ensure that everyone is on the same page, to dedicate the trust building across all the geographical boundaries, to be a proactive problem solving person. It's what makes the difference, and ultimately to deliver high quality projects. The success actually is not the deliverable, it's to empowering every team member so they can do the job they are aimed to do. And also how to turn the distance into an strength so the client doesn't think that they may need to have the team in the same building, in the same city, that they can work with different with people from different countries, from different backgrounds, thanks to you because you are connecting them, you are coordinating them, and you are managing them, and you are leading them. So I'm talking about how to manage these international teams. This is not something new. I think not even from the pandemic, we were working with international teams before that. And for me, it's one of the most challenging and rewarding aspect of freelancing because every person brings unique habits, communication styles, and cultural expectations, and you can really learn about them just by listening what they are saying too. And as a freelance PM, the empathy in these cases becomes your strongest asset. You are not just coordinating people, numbers. They are even if they are involved in this project for a short period of time, you are connecting worlds, so you have to respect the cultural differences, be mindful of the language nuances. Something that can be totally normal for us cannot be for someone else just because of the culture of the background they have. And something important that makes makes the difference between you and other freelance PM or other in-house PM is that you are capable of you can adapt your leadership style accordingly depending on what the client on what they need. Some tips I have and I recommend is, for example, to rotate the meetings times so no one feels like they always have to attend this meeting at 6 p.m. or at 6 a.m. and always acknowledge the local holidays. It this it's maybe it seems minor, but it really builds the trust and engagement. Um, you will you will see how people they are happy just because you are aware that next week is a very important holiday in your country, and maybe they can explain you what it is about, what they do, if they share time with their family. So it's it also help it it helps to bring the team together and how to manage them remotely so they can be happy and deliver the work they have to do. Um, Managing remotely also means being extra clear in your writing communication because usually we tend to misunderstand what someone is writing or the tone they're using, how they are saying something. So use updates, visual dashboards, and documentation that that everyone can can access, that they can always be aware about what is happening and all be on the same page. I mentioned it before that usually a freelance PM we are leading without authority, and it's true. For me, it's one of the biggest challenges we have. Because also most of the time the team members you work with they don't report to you directly because they have their manager and they are reporting directly to them. So the question here is how do you guide and motivate them effectively? And for me the answer lies in influence and trust. Build credibility through consistency, support, shared processes, templates, documentation that makes the team's work easier. And something very important for me is to lead by example. Always to show up prepared, even if that's the first week you are in the company, you are working with this client. Always show up prepared, organized, stay organized, and communicate transparently. In this case, leadership is not, in this context, is not about control, it's about empowerment. And when people feel trust, respect, and support, they naturally deliver their best work. And it's what you want because the client will be happy, you will be happy, and everyone will be happy. And that's the power of leadership by influence. You need to be the example for the team. That I'm a freelance PM and I'm delivering and I'm organized and I'm I am um, delivering what the client expect, so the rest will follow you. Um, a topic I wanted to bring into this discussion, of course, is how to manage tasks and risk, because no matter how well a project is planned, risks and surprise will appear, and even more if you are a freelance PM, that you may not know all the story about a project, about the company, about the team who worked in this service, in this product a few years ago. So you need to anticipate them and to communicate the risk that you can identify early, to really have a transparent task tracking system where everyone knows the status of deliverable and dependencies, and really to get involved in quality assurance, not just as an observer, as someone who is just observing what the rest of the team is testing or is creating, but also as a partner, actually, to be a partner of the team, of the client you're working with, to ensure that that deliverables meet the standards that the client is expecting. Also, when issues arise, the technical knowledge you may have, and this is where I bring the technical knowledge, why for me it's also important to have the technical knowledge as a freelance project manager. It will assure that the deliverable, that you can understand the um, the product, you can explain the challenges to the client. You can also bring clarity to the client, and this is why the client will keep hiring you, because you can turn the potential chaos into calm and into structured solutions, because you have the knowledge about AI, about any any technology that they are using, and they can really trust you. So I mentioned it before, soft skills are very important, and I keep this. I think they are essential for a freelance PM. But why the technical knowledge matters? They are, for me, they are five critical principles that will guide you to successful project delivery if you have some technical expertise. For example, you can be proactive with the risk management because you have the technical knowledge. Maybe you already work with a client or with in a project before that, and you can identify the risk easily because you know this technology. You can support the quality assurance team, as mentioned before, not just as someone who is listening, who is just taking notes. You can also be part. You can test the product, the service that they are offering. You can define, if you have the technical knowledge and that the client and that the project needs, you can define more realistic goals, KPIs, and timelines, so you are sure that the project will be a success. Sometimes unrealistic expectations lead to burnout, to failure, to team members that are not happy, that want to move to any other company or any other client. So we need measurable, achievable targets and a clear schedules, so that the entire team knows that they know what success looks like and how long it will take to get there, so they can also organize them if they have other clients, if they have other projects. And also the client, most important, the client can also organize and not burn the budget because the timeline and the goals were not correctly defined, because we didn't maybe understood the technology or the product that they are creating. Something also very important um, about why technical knowledge matters is that you must align teams with a clear onboarding and a central workspace. Sometimes you are part of the team and they are someone new, and you need to create the onboarding because they are freelancers. They are not there for running a 1 month onboarding. They are there to deliver quickly what the client is expecting. So they really need to be informed, and they really need to know um, how to talk to and where to find the information. And this is also part of the freelance PM, to have an accessible workspace where everyone is on the same page. And also, finally, the technical knowledge also helps you to make decisions in critical moments. You need to take a decision quickly. You can rely on the data, on the communication, on the shared understanding you have with the team, so you can make the decisions. And it, it will with that you and the client will maintain control the quality and the clarity throughout the project life cycle. I have talked about um, workspace, tools, documentation, but this is really the um, the job of the freelance PM. And I'd say tools won't save a project, but how you use them, it can actually save the project. So effective freelance PMs understand that software is not the end. Is so the end is the project you are delivering, it's not the tool you are using. But for example, if you have any client that wants to use any tool for task management, tools like Jira, Asana, Trello, or Keep Progress Visible for communication, you don't know what to use, you can rely on Slack, Teams, Zoom, that they help maintain communication. For documentation, there are also other tools that you can use. But for me, here is the key. Being a freelance PM is not about knowing how to click around in tools and how to use any of these tools. It's about using them to create the clarity, the trust, and the structure that you need. You don't need to know exactly how they work, but you really need to know if there is um, any lack of information, anything that you need to cover. You have tools that you can use and bring it there. So many people can say, for example, oh, I know how to use Jira, I know how to use Notion, I can create a template here. But what makes you different is your ability to connect the dots, these tools, to align the people and to ensure the delivery quality. And that's what clients are truly paying for, not for setting up a workspace during 1 month and then you will never work again with this client. Is to how to use this tool to really bring everyone in the table and to organize the projects you are working with this client or with several clients. We are arriving at the end of this season, and I would like to recap the principle of successful freelance technical project management. First, and the most important for me, is to position yourself strategically as a trust advisor, not just as a coordinator, not just as someone who is here for short term for creating a workspace and then it's gone. Second, lead international teams through empathy, influence rather than authority. Then to combine your technical knowledge with the leadership to guide teams through the complexity, to lead by example. Then to use the tools and the team plays, but to bring the structure and the clarity, not only to set up the team plays that the team needs, but they don't really know how to use it, so then it doesn't bring anything. And finally, as a freelance PM, I think it's important to balance the independence you have with the discipline, because that's what allows you to manage multiple clients successfully. When you combine the structure, the empathy, and the technical expertise, you create not only successful projects, but also you are creating the professional relationships that you want for your career, that this client will really remember you, will recommend you to any colleague, any other teams within the same company with other companies. We are at the end. Thank you so much for your time. Something I like to say is that being a freelance technical project manager is not just a job, it's not a career that you do in the meantime when between jobs. It's a lifestyle of growth, of global impact, and to really it's something to be really proud of us and to be part of this community that we can always learn from each other. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you leave this season inspired to embrace your freelance journey with confidence and with purpose. Um, um, I'm happy to connect, and you can leave a message here. And thank you so much for your time. Goodbye.